I'll get it by the end of the night. Redefining love through powerlessness. Soleil Maganahan.
Not many people know, but I actually have a 3-year-old. His name is Nasser. He has black hair and a cute smile. And just like any other 3-year-old, he thinks his only job in the world is to get on my nerves. Mr. Contest Chair, judges, members and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
How many of here has kids, young siblings, nephews? You all can relate. Then you know that they love to push your buttons. One time, I was sitting by the sofa. He was at the kitchen. He grabs a glass cup. He says, "Baba, look, look. Put it down, Nasser." "No." "Put it down, please." "No." "Put it down, damn it." "No." I ran toward him, and then he was waiting for me. He was ready. And as soon as I got near him, he smashed the glass cup and ran away. How many of you have went through these situations? Come on, your kids are not angels. But the truth is that no matter how much they drive you crazy, the love you have for them is priceless. Because as soon as something happens to them, you'll be the first one to say, "My baby!" So last month, we almost lost him. He was running around with his 3 cousins, or I should say, they were chasing him because he stole their toy. And while he was running, he slips and he hits his ear in a very sharp corner of a table. He gets up, ow, sees the blood, starts screaming. They took him to the hospital, and I get there by 6 p.m. because I was at work. We come in, we bring him to the nurse. The nurse says, "Okay, honey, we will look at your ear now, okay?" No! He was so stubborn. So I had to hold his feet. And he started screaming, he started kicking, he even kicked me in sensitive areas. And then the doctor came in. He looked at his ear and he says, "Okay, we would need to need to do a procedure. And to do that procedure, we would need to put him to sleep because he is too active. And we need to prevent an infection." Great. He said, "All right, don't give him any food. It's going to take a while." 9 hours later. And you don't want to know what happened between those 9 hours and you have an active kid. The doctor comes in, he says, "All right, the reason we made you guys wait this long is because we have to make sure his stomach is empty so he doesn't vomit, and the vomit would plug his ear hole. And another side effect might be is he might have some hard time breathing, he might moan a little bit. It's rare, but it's normal." At 3 a.m., guys, this is when things got real. And a dark story began. This is when I felt I no longer had control of him. And my wife and I stepped to the side and watched them nervously as the doctors came in. 2 doctors, the head doctor and the doctor who was going to do the procedure, and 2 nurses. They discussed among themselves the procedure, and we just watched nervously. The head doctor left because he didn't have to be there to do the procedure, but he said close. They began the procedure, and everything was fine. Until the machine started beeping, indicating that his heartbeat has risen. His face started to change color. His lips became dark. He couldn't breathe better anymore. He was like, he started kicking his legs. My wife started screaming, "What's happening?" The doctor said, "Please, leave." And I was frozen in place. But inside, guys, it was hell. Because I felt powerless. There's nothing I can do for him. He's in their hands. And while they were trying to get the situation together, I was by the wall feeling extremely powerless. And the only thing I can do is close my eyes and say, "God, please, please save him. Even if you have to take my life instead of his, please save him." And as that was happening, the main doctor came in to see what's going on. And at that moment, guys, a little movie started to play in my head of every detail and every memory I had with this kid. It was his smile that greeted me by the door when I came from work. It was his gentle heartbeat and his warm breath that I felt in my hand when I put him to sleep. It was him when he jumped on my back when I came from work and melted my worries. All of these memories gathered in my mind. And at that moment of powerlessness, my love for this kid was redefined. And luckily the doctor was able to turn things around. He turned him to the side, his heart became into normal heartbeat, his breathing became better. But that situation taught me a big lesson. It taught me the true definition of love that I had for that kid. Nothing mattered at that moment. It was only me and his relationship. It didn't matter how many cups he broke. It didn't matter how many sleepless nights I had. It didn't matter how much headache he gave me sometimes. At that moment, it was only me and him. So despite what happens with your siblings, your friends, your children, your little nephews, your cousins, whoever, when they push your buttons, I just want you to look them in the eyes and remember how much of a precious gift they are. And for me, if that precious gift can run to the door with a gentle, innocent, and sweet smile, then my world is complete. Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want that? Then redefine